Hello, everybody. Welcome to Awakened Positive Power. Hello, Darcy Marta.
Good morning, Jemima Godsall.
Good morning, guys. This is where Darcy and I, Jemima, talk about topics such as depression, anything to do with mental health awareness, and suicide prevention through awareness. Yes, heavy topics. Just before we start anything, there is a disclaimer down below, but also a 1-800 number, more to the point, more to the important point. The 1-800 number is there for yourself or for anybody you know who might be in trouble. You can always ring with your name or anonymously, just to know that you have a support network no matter what frame of mind or stage of life you are in, for you or for someone suffering, or for you dealing with someone suffering. So it works in all sorts of ways. On that note, today, Das and I are going to chat. I've noticed this week, Das. Hello, Das. Hello,
Hi,
beautiful
Jemima. Hello, my friend.
We've noticed that, go through waves of emotions, but I'm being challenged right now by perimenopause, very new to me. I'm extremely emotional, extremely lack of sleep, extremely hot flashes and all that stuff. It seems to be the atypical, yay, which I think is really unfair in another way. That's another story. But I'm extremely emotionally challenged right now. Again, I have a grip on it, but I've noticed my thought patterns, because I'm out of my major drug addiction and hoo-ha only 2 years. My thought patterns are still very, very similar to there, which is about attempting suicide. Now, guys, this is not an easy subject to talk about. And the thoughts of suicide, just firstly, I am aware, having gone through suicide, that a suicide attempt, I should say, lucky I got out of it, that I know the feelings, and this is not an easy topic at all, and not to dismiss anybody or anything or any feelings. Just about me. I'm coming to you from a friend point of view, as is Darcy. Just about how I'm going through it right now. And remember, there is that number down there if you do need any help, because this is a very touchy subject. But my thoughts of suicide are habitual right now. I know that I'm in control. I know that I'm also doing this wonderful work, Darcy, and other places, to bring awareness to suicide prevention, to bring around prevention of suicide through awareness. But my thought pattern slips into this habit of, let me get out of here when anything's bad, when I'm challenged. And it's like really quite, it's exhausting, depressing, on top of the depression. It's like this double-edged sword. And it's like also disappointing because of the healing process that I've come through, to be still slipping back into such a hard place to go, hard mental place to sit in, hard thoughts, even just, it's hard to talk about to anyone too, like, I'm thinking about this, and it's not exactly something it doesn't sit right with people. Fair enough. It shouldn't.
Well, not everybody has the capacity to deal with that subject. That's one of the reasons that we're talking about it every week, is because most people find it really frightening to even discuss it or mention it. And I really do feel that at one point or another, everybody has probably considered it, looked at it, and felt those big feelings, and so,
or had someone, sadly to say, surprisingly,
or had someone in their lives, right?
I mean, so ever since I started this road, when I was literally on the road, how everyone I talked to had someone who was directly affected by suicide, who had either they'd attempted or someone in their family. I was like, I don't know if it was kismet timing of coming across people like that, but I was shocked. I was sadly amazed, and that's why I want to continue this with you, Darcy, too, like just to talk and make this conversation more everyday conversation, dare I say that.
Yeah, I really think that if it was less stigmatized, and more compassionately dealt with, as opposed to fearfully dealt with, we would have a lot less of it. It's really hard. I think the biggest issue, though, Jemima, that you're talking about right now with what you're dealing with, and is habitual behavior, right?
Exactly.
So
that's what I want. It's like, how do we shift the habit of my thought pattern for 20 years? How do I change it? What do I do? I mean, I think I'm working at it, but then it's comes in, I'm like,
you are
what am I
working on it. Yeah, you are working on it. So you look at your language, first of all. Always look at your own language and put everything in the present and put everything in the positive. So when you say, I think I'm working on it, absolutely you're working on it 100%. And you can say, I am working on this now. I am working on this now. And just shifting your language like that begins to shift an empowerment within you. Yeah, I am working with that. The other word I want to give to everybody right now is my favorite word, which is practice. Practice. So we have practiced negative speech, negative thinking, and negative behavior for, I don't know, Jemima, how many years?
38.
38 years. 38 years you have been you've been practicing negative thought, negative speech, and negative behavior. And then you woke up one day, had a hallelujah moment, and went, what am I doing here? And now you're on this path to healing, which is demanding you to change that behavior. So how many years has that been?
Oh, I know, but then you don't want it to be. That's been only 2 years.
That's okay. Now, this is the wonderful news about healing. It takes less time if you practice to build into a positive space than it did practicing negative behavior and building into your dark space.
Yeah. Okay.
It takes less time. It really does. And the reason is because you're now mindful of your behavior. You're making choices that empower you. Negative speech and negative behavior, oftentimes that's mindless.
Mm-hmm. True.
We do things because I hate that person, I hate this, and it's just like this mindless dribble. And then we get into we have an event that happens perhaps, and then we get into that victim place, and it really snowballs, and there's not a lot of real cognizant, mindful control there, right? It just kind of keeps snowballing. So now, congratulations, you're mindful, you're cognizant, you recognize, you see, and you are working on it. And it is taking time. And so your operative word is practice. And you say, yeah, I practiced that for a long time. Now I got to practice this for a little while. So, forgive yourself, it's like any subject you study when you go to school, you have to study. So, and then you get a test, and then you got to study.
Such a heavy, dark
Yeah.
thought pattern. Like it's so disturbing. Like it's hard to stop and go, that's not mine anymore. That's not mine anymore. And to sit with it, because I have to sit with what can you do? Can't ignore it. Like you just can't. It's one of those things that just can't be ignored. But to sit with it, it's like, and then it's kind of heavy weighted because of that. So it's come about because of feeling depressed or scuffle minded. Mm-hmm. Then you have to sit with it, which is so dark. It brings about a depression in itself. Right. And then it brings about the self annoyance because stop, the awareness brings about it's kind of weird. Like this awareness brings about a load of crap with it, circled with it, and it exemplifies it. It's really challenging to not fall into the victim mode too, which then pisses me off because I'm going, I know I'm not a victim anymore. I've got so many things to look forward to, and even the moment I'm alive, that's enough to be happy about, and I'm not, and that sucks because of a habitual pattern of dark, heavy thoughts, and suicide is not a comfortable place to sit in.
It isn't. I mean, I like EFT. We talked about tapping before. Tapping is a great tool to use when you get into this place. Tapping is fantastic. Even though I'm having these dark, horrible, heavy thoughts, and I feel like I'm just sinking down, good old Alice's rabbit hole, and I feel like I weigh 7,000 pounds and I'll never get out. I deeply and completely love and appreciate myself. even though I'm having these dark, heavy thoughts and I'm going down a rabbit hole and I feel 7,000 pounds, I deeply and completely love and appreciate myself. Even though I'm having these dark, heavy thoughts and I'm going down that rabbit hole and I feel 7,000 pounds and I feel just absolutely horrible, I deeply and completely love and appreciate myself. These dark, heavy thoughts, 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 they're not mine. I don't need them anymore. They're not mine. These dark, heavy thoughts, they're not mine. I don't need them anymore, and I'm willing to let them go. I'm willing to let them go. These dark, heavy thoughts are not mine anymore. I don't need them. They're not mine. I'm willing to let them go. Letting them go. I'm letting these dark, heavy thoughts go. I'm letting them go, let them go, let them go, let them go. Goodbye. Goodbye. And then you watch them change. And you do it again, and you rephrase it, and you do it. And that's what's so wonderful about having the EFT sites and the emo-free sites if you forget how to do it.
But
Or
can I ask you something else?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if I am playing into victim role, because in the moment of that, I forget everything. Like all I can about do is burn some sage.
Right.
Which is great. Which is great. Yeah, I thank God. Exactly. I come in, woohoo, at least there's something beautiful, and I know I can honor it enough. Right. But I know there are so many other tools I have, so many, like the EFT and so many other wonderful things that have been introduced to me as a gift, like so many beautiful, which I have worked and they work, that I,
well, this is the difficulty of being on your own, right? Yeah. Being alone, being on your own, right? Is when you get in the middle of it, yeah, you don't want to do anything, you literally go down your rabbit hole and there you are at the bottom of the hole and lying there, and you don't want to like do anything to get yourself up because you can't. Yeah. That's why you have to reach out. You have to reach out. That's why I say put things on your walls to remind you of what to do. Also, when we talk about practice, make these types of practices a part of your daily practice.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So that as you go through the menopausal symptoms, tap on them. Right. As you go through these depression or these suicidal thoughts, tap on it. I'm all about taking naps. Take a nap with a recording, a hypnosis recording. I got to make you a new one. I have to make you a new recording. And then let me know how long you want it to be. I still have to, yeah. Do you want it to be 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or do you want a full hour, and you just lie there and let it take you. Naps, power naps are wonderful. Also, doing things for other people, yeah, really helpful.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, actually, just FYI, people, like I still commit to all my daily my must-haves, must-dos, which is teaching class, which I love, thank God. But yeah, like doing so many times I go into class and go, oh, my heavyweight, and I've got to go do it. But then I get there and there's these fabulous people and they just lift my spirits, and it's so wonderful to do it for them, and for them to do it to me just as much, for them to lift up my spirits just as much, because I'm a fitness instructor, guys. So granted, I get to move my body, but yeah, how wonderful it is to feel like I'm gifting them my time, even though they have no idea I'm in deep depression, and it shifts my mode. As soon as I walk out, yeah, I slip straight back into it if I'm dark.
Oh yeah, I had the same thing this week. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you. I've just had some personal events that I can't really talk about right now. I'm sorry, but just got me so loaded. I mean, I just felt like I'm dragging a house on my shoulders, and I'm usually great at going to sleep, I just go out. I was awake all night.
I'm so sorry.
Wednesday night, all night long. I think I fell asleep for like an hour in there. But I kept waking up. And I'm like, this is not like me. So I started doing my body scan. So the next day, when I don't sleep well, then I get really emotionally raw, and I have to go teach preschool. Nice. And I really looked at that for myself. Being around children is really uplifting.
Mm-hmm.
It's really uplifting for me to be around children. You know, when they cry and I soothe them, or they have a temper tantrum and I soothe them, I look at them like, you know, they are not cognizantly in control yet. That's what they have to learn. And I think if I can give them an understanding of themselves as a human in this, it makes me feel so much better. But as soon as I put them down and they go outside, or they take a nap, or they go with somebody else, oh, I just like fell right down deep into it again, right? So yeah, I mean, you fall right back into it. And then I'm like, okay, I got to find myself again, because I got to go back out and deal with my Skittles, my little Skittles. My little guy. And they're, you know, they're so beautiful, you know, so you have those moments with a child. And I totally get why some people who are depressed become abusive, because they can't take the sounds, you know, like when you have a whining child or a screaming child, and it's all about your own inner control. And I'm so grateful I have such great inner control that when I hear a whining child or a screaming child, my instinct now is to say, how can I help them process this? And when I help them process this, helps me process myself.
Yeah.
But I've learned that over years of practice.
Yeah.
You know, and so I understand there are people out there struggling with that, because we have to learn through practice. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know the noises of, like, I live in a truck stop right now, and last week I said we have many things to be grateful for it, but it's not helping. You know, it doesn't help. And to wake up to trucks in the morning, and to wake up to horns and men swearing, and it's all just like, come on. And I know, and that's the thing, you know, once again, I said last week as well, there's a lot of things I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
Right now, it's just very difficult, like having this dark thoughts, like, anyway.
Are you kind to yourself? Do you forgive yourself?
Finding that troubling to try. No, I mean, to a point, but what I'm finding is I'm getting frustrated that I can't be kind, or I'm not like more compassionate to that thought, and how I feel like I'm playing victim to it. Here goes the circle, and I get frustrated that I'm aware of it, that I can't be then extra kind because I'm aware of it. And then I get even more depressed. So because I can't be aware of it, because I'm aware of it and I can't do it. And that's where I go, like, well, this awareness, like I said to my love last night, sometimes I wish I was a dumbass and not so aware, you know. I mean, granted, my half less half is beautiful, but you know, like, it's just frustrated. I'm frustrated is probably, it's not like I'm being abusive and going out and drinking and doing things that I shouldn't be doing. It's just this frustration. I'm just, I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, I mean, you might want to try drawing that circle, drawing it, illustrating it for yourself. When it comes on, you know, create it as an art project. See how you can, see how you can work with that. You know, look at it as something to really understand and work with, and then call a friend and do a meditation together, or do an exercise together, or say, I'm lucky I have dogs. I have to take them out, although sometimes it's very challenging. Like this morning when he rolled in fertilizer and smelled like dead fish, and I'm in my pajamas. And I did not sleep last night again. I didn't sleep. And so, you know, at first thing in the morning, you let them outside, you're trying to make tea, and they come in. What is that smell?
That's when I'm glad I have a cat. Sorry.
Wow. I had to dump them in the tub, take my pajamas, dump it in the, you know, I had to dump it in the laundry. Thank you, God, I have a laundry to dump it in. So I'm completely naked, really pissed off. What is my dog? It's really my husband wakes up and goes, what are you doing?
Morning.
The dog. I sound like one myself. You know, But the good thing is I don't get to stew in my own juice ever. Those guys make me get up and get out, which is really wonderful. That's what I mean, thinking about other people and reaching out to other people. And I know we've talked about this before. It's really hard to reach out when you're in your darkness. So, doing what we're doing right now, we have a plan. We meet once a week and we talk about it. This is really helpful. And
yeah, I don't know how far I would be in terms of not sinking way deep down if I didn't have this. Like, because I always know I get something constructive from it. I know offloading, we all know after you offload, loses 0.5% of the energy in it anyway.
Yeah.
Your constructive advice and guidance and healing and just friendship is helps so much. And also I stick to all my commitments. It's my deal with myself. Got to stick to all my commitments. So, and sometimes I'm like, I feel like going, Darcy, I feel like shit. Can we do this next week? But I go, no, don't do it. Don't do it. So, it helps. I mean, there's
it does help. I mean, I woke up with a headache. I didn't sleep well. I had to deal with the dog. I was like, gotta do that. Gotta call Jemima. I'm like, good. I'm really glad, because every time I talk to you, I remind myself.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like you're probably kind of getting a double whammy right now, just so you know. So maybe even, you're getting hit from a lot of angles. And so this is why I really want you to be compassionate with yourself. Okay. So yeah, you're perimenopausal. You're living in an environment that you don't like, but it's temporary, so you can get through it, right? You have a lot of expectations for what's coming in the future, and that can create a lot of frustration in the now. So trying to stay present in the now when you are really looking forward to the future can be quite challenging, especially when you don't like what the now is.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that is really, really challenging. And you just got to really ride that one, pull from your resiliency, practice your practice, etc. So you've got those challenges going on that are personal. Then you've got the worldwide energy, and being a Pisces, you're very receptive, very sensitive. And let's face it, we are at a time right now that is uncertain, it's dark, it's mean, and it's just really, really ugly. It makes me cry just thinking about it.
I know, bless. I know it is. It's very challenging for everyone, and
it's hard. I looked at one of my colleagues yesterday. She has 2 beautiful kids, and she's that are in 5th and 6th grade, I think. So she's in the preschool, and she's from, what country is she from? I want to say Pakistan, Palestine, one of those areas. And so she's been through a lot. She's lost her husband over the last couple of years due to illness. And she's amazingly resourceful, and she's resilient, and she's loving, and she's got her 2 kids. And every time I see her, we always laugh with each other. How are you doing? Yes, good. How are you? We know we both have challenges. And I looked at her yesterday. I'm like, how are you? And she goes, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm just getting run over by a truck. I'm like, sure. I said, don't say that too much. I said, that's the wrong thing to say. But if you're feeling, I said, you feeling overwhelmed? She said, yes. She goes, I'm exhausted. I said, sure. We're all living in the middle of this darkness. And the biggest part of this darkness is lying, the lies, because people don't know what is the truth. And we've set ourselves up for this over the past, dare I say, from 2016 to 2020, with our, previous situation where we started to use lies like truth. And just metaphorically, what that does to you. I don't know if you've ever told a lie and then had to live with the lie. And then you watch the lie get bigger and bigger and bigger, and it changes, and you've got to keep the lie straight, and then you start lying to yourself. And so this energy of lying is now pervasive. It's where we're living across the world. And I feel like energetically, and of course the tragedy of war is something that we're all feeling. We're all feeling this. So, like I said, I think you're getting it from a lot of angles, and you've got to really be kind to yourself, really kind. Baths, my Pisces, baths, showers. See if there's a gym with a pool open so you can go swim, be a fish, right?
Yeah.
Do some water work.
I mean, yeah. I know. I mean, I know. It's just, that's the point, isn't it? Like the awareness sometimes it's just a challenge. And, when you are an empath and I will lovingly blame it on being Pisces too. Like, it's just, you pick up on every freaking thing, and I wouldn't change it for the world. But sometimes when these dark behavioral patterns come into play, it's just a head fuck. Pardon my language, YouTube, but that's all I can say is that I have to label it that way.
Right. It is. It's a big head trip. It's huge, because it's affecting you, body, mind, and spirit.
Yeah. And on top of that, with perimenopause, it's just like, oh my gosh. Anyway, it's all a big mess.
Well, I suggested you read that book by Christian Northrup, right? Menopause. She has a lot of books out about how to deal with menopause.
This one was called Wisdom of Menopause.
Wisdom of Menopause. Give that one a try. She's got, oh my gosh. I have to look up my book by Christian Northrup. I can't remember the name of it. It's in my box. I'm packing. So I would suggest you read one of her books. And that will really help, the more you can read. And you know what? Once you become awake and aware, Jemima, you can't turn back.
Yeah, I know. And I wouldn't want to. And, right? That's the negative little tantrum person having a little, God, but how dark would life be then? Seriously, in my world, it would just be, I don't want to change it. And I will take all the shit that comes with the part of my language again. Because it's gold. It's the awareness and the awakening is just phenomenal. And when it is bright, the light is just so intense. And when it's dark, the light is intense too. But I wouldn't want it any other way. For all right. That I've learned, all that I've come through. It's profound. But
right.
In three-dimensional human body world, I'm like, I get used to this too hard. Like I'm just acting like a little child at the moment. But
yeah, that's okay. You know what? Like I said, it all works. The best thing is, look at, let's say some congratulations to you. You're not overeating it away. You're not drinking it away. You're not drug using it away. You're not doing some crazy major escapism. You're staying present with it. You're working through it. And, that's how you become a healer and you help others, is through your visceral experience with it. And as difficult as it is, that's the path that you're on, and it's amazing. And so pat yourself on the back, give yourself a hug.
And I have to say, people too, it's the people you surround yourself with who can help you. Like, like Darcy being number one, like, it's so true though. Like, I mean, I say to my love, like, I can choose who I want to be around. Right. That's why it's very difficult for this environment that I'm around right now, because I don't really have a choice, and that goes with the short-term consequence. But I feel like I miss some people or the energies around people, because the when you can feel low but supported and cared for, not ignored or brushed off or stupid. There's a different level, and it's not necessarily either way you have to understand it, but I'd rather be supported and cared for, and that's okay. Allow myself to process it rather than dismissed and made like a fool because I'm feeling emotional. Do you know what I mean? And it's like,
oh yeah,
yourself with those people who care, even if they don't have, and you don't have to understand, but they just still have compassion, rather than people who make fun of you. It's just vitally the part of it's vital to have the right people in your crowd, in your group, you know. So
Absolutely. We can't do it alone.
yes,
We cannot do it alone. We can't do it.
totally.
You know, I cannot do this alone. I think sometimes I'm like superwoman. I'm supposed to do everything by myself. And then I go, what? I cannot do this anymore by myself, you know, and I have to reach out as well, you know, absolutely.
So Darcy, on that note, can we close with a card? The card
Okay.
today?
A card?
Card?
Yeah, let's close with a
Australian?
card. Yeah, yeah.
How long has it been? Since 1998 I've left. I still have my accent pretty strong. Bizarre.
Mhm.
I talk a lot.
So my question to you is, pick a hand.
Left.
This one?
I guess yes.
Left hand. Now pick right, left, or center.
Center.
Okay. All right. And then what would you like to ask? How would you like to phrase it today to pick a card?
What's something that I'm missing right now? What's something that I that it would be helpful for my brain case right now to hear? Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I love the laughter again. Uh-oh.
Well, I didn't get a shuffle very much. It just
Jumped out.
So I'm just going with that, which is new moon eclipse. I'm using Yasmin Boland's Moonology Oracle cards.
Beautiful. Love it.
And hers is new moon eclipse, expect powerful change.
Okay. We just had our new moon too. Yeah, I'm having powerful changes called perimenopause.
Exactly. Expect powerful change. Now, you know, the thing about menopause, the really profound thing is that your energy shifts from being all about your basic needs, wants, and desires and moves into your higher self, right? So our energy was originally in our lower chakras, our lower energy, which is all food, clothing, shelter, sexuality, you know, creation, destroying, create again, willpower, etc. And then the energy moves up the body into the heart, right? This is what menopause is doing. It's bringing your energy up from those basics into your higher self, your higher energies, which is your higher love, your higher expression, and your connection to spirit. And this is how we become wise women. And this is how we become more psychic. And this is a really powerful change.
True, yeah.
It is. And it's very exciting. And, you know, like anything that's worth anything, it can be difficult, it can be hard, it can be
painful along the way. Yes.
Just like working out. I'm sure you've said this many times to your students.
True. Yeah, true.
Right. Okay, so let me find this one. Let me find this one. Page 94. But, you know, that's a really exciting concept, you know, what you're going through, Jemima. Okay. New moon eclipse, expect powerful change. If you want affirmation that you can achieve your dreams and get the desired outcome in the situation you are asking about, then this is it. This is a card of beginnings, and there are powerful energies at work. But be prepared. It could be quite a ride. And events now could even be jarring and uncomfortable.
God, you can't make this stuff up, can you?
I know, right? It's like, wait, did I just write this? Hang on, did you just write that? However, any new direction you take will almost always lead somewhere better than where you are at the moment. Whatever is happening now is happening for a reason that you will appreciate later on. Isn't that what you were talking to your friends about who've been through menopause like myself? Like, does it get better? Yes, it does get better. It gets a lot better. A new portal is opening up, and all you have to do is have the courage to forget about the past and move through it. And that's always the challenge, to forget about the past, to release the past and move through it. I release the past, I am free. That's a great mantra for today. You wanted a mantra for today? I release the past, I am free. You are being put back on the right path. There is nothing to fear, says this card.
Alrighty, thank
Never,
you.
here it goes. Never mind the past. Life evolves every single day. Additional meaning for this card is yes, 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 1,000 times.
I love it.
You are being shunted towards your life purpose.
Mm,
Whatever happening now is happening for your highest good. These are all the things that we were just saying. This is an important turning point in your life. The new moon eclipses are among the most exciting astrological events. They herald a complete change of pace. It's as though you're headed in one direction, probably being guided by your ego. And then here comes the divine, the goddess or spirit, to turn you instead to face the direction you actually need to go in. Regardless of whether or not there's a new moon eclipse happening when you pull this card, it's a powerful affirmation of positive turnaround. All right, so yeah, releasing the past, I just want to say this. As you move through your perimenopause, as our world moves in change, and we move into change is always difficult. However, do we really want to be that person we were 10 years ago?
No.
No. Do we know that the world needs to change right now? Is this horrible event that's happening, or these events that are happening around the world that have happened before, like Syria and Aleppo and etc., what is the one beautiful thing that's happening right now is the world is coming together with consciousness. What is the wonderful thing that's happening to you is that you are becoming conscious and you're accepting your power. And every change requires us to work our way through it, as difficult as it might be. Some changes are great. And I really had to say goodbye to my, young, crazy self when I moved through perimenopause, that I couldn't be this like wild, reckless individual. But in a lot of ways, I am so much freer right now. I am so much freer. And so I just kind of kissed my 20-year-old self and I said, hi.
I don't know why that made me cry.
Well, because yeah, those are big thoughts. Big thoughts. But they all are moving to this beautiful evolution of the species. And that's our big task, is to evolve the species. And when you evolve, Jemima, the species evolves. And when I evolve, the species evolves. We can't stay in our past.
Yeah, too
right?
true. Yeah.
And this, what a great card you took. She said, another thing it says is yes, yes, yes.
I know, I love it.
So with that, I say yes, yes, yes to you.
And yes, yes, yes to you, or wise one. Thank you again. Thank
My
you, thank you.
darling. Are you okay?
Sorry.
Are those tears of beauty? Are you okay?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know yet. The tears of transition.
That's right. I mean, I don't ever worry about crying anymore. I
No, me
cry.
neither. I cry all the time. Yeah, definitely. I guess there's a warning of the past, saying goodbye to in
Yes.
terms of the young rebel and the crazy chick, but there's also a much wiser, more spiritually balanced person coming in. So,
And a
yeah,
freer and a much
yeah.
freer person coming
I
in.
hope so. I haven't gotten there yet, but I really hope so. I mean, I do believe, I trust in your words and the other wise women around me. I really do appreciate the beautiful women I have that are older than me who have been through this, and it's fantastic. So thank you, Das,
You're
and
welcome.
everyone. Thank you. Don't
Thank
forget to
you.
share, subscribe. Okay, we'll see you next week. Peace out.
Peace out.
Bye, Das.
Bye, darling.